Okay, so I'm just going to be reading the beginning of this book called Basics by Simon Fischer, and it's 300 exercises and practice routines for the violin. So I think I got this from one of Eddie Chen's vlog videos from back in the day, but he delisted those. So I just found a online copy, and then I'm just sort of reading it out right now. So here's the introduction. Basic technical exercises can be used by players of all levels because most of the technical issues remain the same: intonation, tone production, rhythm and articulation, coordination, relaxation, as well as the easiest possible working of arms, hands, and fingers. Violin playing is complex because to play even a simple phrase, a large number of quite different techniques must be performed one after another, often at great speed. Each note in a succession of notes may need to be produced in a fundamentally different way from the others. For example, to play the first note on the bow may have to be placed on the string and then bite the beginning of the note. And in order to demonstrate that, it's just I'm thinking it's referencing like a martelé stroke. So adding pressure to the bow and then immediately releasing all that pressure as soon as the bow starts moving. And then let's see. For example, to play the first note, yada yada. To play the second note, the bow may have to pivot smoothly across to another string, so string crossings. To play the third note, a finger may have to be lifted. To play the fourth note, the hand may have to shift up or down, and so on. On their own, most of the separate techniques are very simple. It is only when we try to perform several of them at the same time that they can appear to become more difficult. To a certain extent, an easy piece is easy because very few actions have to be performed at the same time. A difficult piece is difficult because 10 or 20 actions may have to be performed at the same time or in close succession. The easiest piece of all must therefore be just one open string played pizzicato because it consists of only one action. And that would look like this. So just any of the open strings and then plucking it with your right hand. Many of the individual actions that make up technique can themselves be broken down into several elements. This book deals with these elements, large or small, one at a time, which is the quickest way to build technique. The exercises and basics can be used in a number of different ways. First, they provide an easy and direct way to build, one at a time, the simple actions that together are called technique. Second, many of them double as useful warm-up exercises. Third, even a player with the finest technique has to continue to practice in order not to lose it. And basics exercises are an effective and time-efficient way to work on specific areas. Well-aimed exercises develop individual parts of technique. The next step is to combine the individual techniques in countless different ways by playing scales, studies, and pieces. But many of the difficulties of everyday playing simply vanish if you regularly practice key individual techniques separately. The most important thing is to have so much technique that you don't have to think about it. If you are too conscious of the how, it can make playing almost impossible, just as any actions that normally happen automatically, walking, talking, eating, become stilted and awkward when we try to perform them consciously. Children learn quickly because the how goes straight into the unconscious. It is through the adult knowing ever more clearly and consciously what to do that finally technique becomes automatic and is then naturally forgotten. Then the player can really be free to make music. And then it says, so this one is how to use basics, which exercise to practice, how long to practice it for, and how often to practice it. Everybody's needs are different, and an exercise that may be relevant for one player may be irrelevant for another. Basics can be used in any number of ways according to preference. The exercises fall into several categories. Some are intended simply to illuminate a particular aspect of playing, like number 1, 2, 6, 19, 54, and 55. These can be returned to from time to time, but do not need to be practiced regularly. Some of the exercises are designed to give a different feel to the hands and arms in all of the different aspects of playing. For example, the feel of each finger on the bow, of raising and dropping the fingers, of drawing a straight bow, and so on. Most of these are very short and simple and do not require more than 60 or 90 seconds. Like number 3, 4, 5, 9, 56, 89, 98, 128. They do not need to be practiced every day, although many players find that different exercises become favorites to which they return again and again. They can be used daily for building technique, or by returning to them regularly, used as a quick way to ensure that everything remains in good working order. Other exercises are solid practice routines that constantly develop technique and, like playing scales, may become part of everyday practice. Some of the key exercises in this category are tone production, shifting, intonation, and vibrato. Used again and again, these improve the player's technique on a continual basis. Many basics exercises can be used in daily practice to save time. Intonation exercises, for instance, save time by tuning the hand so that fewer intonation problems are likely to arise in subsequent practice. 15 minutes spent on an intonation exercise can mean that you spend 1 hour instead of 2 working on intonation in a piece. Many of the shifting exercises include all the possibilities of shifting from one finger to another. Once you have practiced them for an hour or for 10 minutes, the repertoire you play afterwards feels more secure because, in effect, you have already worked on all the shifts in one go. Some players like to spend all the practice in a day just playing, for example, shifting exercises or tone production exercises. The improvement in the general level of playing that results from working like this can be felt for a long time to come. Although Basics is not a book to play through from cover to cover, one approach is to practice something from each section every day. Some exercises will take 30 seconds and some will take 30 minutes. What is practiced depends entirely on the individual's needs and availability of time. Keep a record of what you've practiced. For example, in a row of alternative key signatures, such as on page 142, tick each key signature as you play it. Mark each exercise with a tick each time you do it. Practicing a tone production exercise, make a note of A string low position, D string high position, and so on. And I think that's pretty much it from the beginning of the book. But yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I can sort of look at each exercise and try to explain it to the best of my ability. So yeah, that's pretty much it.